let's pretend that we already know each other really well. That you know that I'm the daughter of a gay man and the daughter of a gay preacher, to boot. And that it's been a long life for him of struggle with mental illness and persecution and homelessness, and that today happens to be the day that ended. And that if my dad had not been so deeply ashamed of who he was, I would not be here right now. This is called Ultraviolet. Amanda's recurring dream as a child was about a witch and a bathtub, and how hard it is, really, to strangle someone with your own bare hands. Never mind that the choked witch was herself, her own power. She wouldn't know that for years anyway, and until then she had to fall asleep terrified and wake up sick with victory. Until then she had work to do to become beautiful and worthy. We praise all who come out of hiding to claim their lease on the sun. We reward pride in all its forms, throw parades for it, so we can liberate flowers from the stray jackets of our fists and call it spring. We don't talk enough about the difficulty of staying in the closet, of disowning the only part of you that knows how to say your name, what it takes to keep the struggling color of you quiet and reigned when it was born to scream and river. It is an incredible feat of hesitation to live with your hands around your own neck and smile about it. What fierce love we have for our mothers and fathers that we go to such lengths to return their protection. Someday you will have your parade. I have no doubt. You will have streamers every color of the rainbow and the whole world barely containing their pleasure at your pleasure, their shared joy, just zippered behind the warm, closed ellipses of their lips. But this one is for the little girl in the bathtub, preparing to fight. I suspect she knows something about survival. You do what you have to. Live pinned beneath floorboards, crouched in attic closets. You imagine every crumb is a wedding cake. Guard closely what is most precious and wait out the war. Hold your breath when you hear another horn section warming up outside. Shine the lock on the door. No one can tell you how to write your own story, but I will tell you a secret. The witch cannot be killed. We are so limited by the spectrum of what is visible. How many things are dazzling in the dark, are secretly thriving just out of sight?
Sorry to interrupt. I have 2 jobs and no income. The money in this hat goes to our feature to make sure the space keeps continuing. Sorry to interrupt. Here, if you can take it.
Yeah, worries. We're just getting into dads. We're just fucking feeling it. And on that note, here's a short snack called Why I Turned Out So Vanilla. It became a sort of litmus test showing people the bondage gear in the basement while giving them a tour of my father's house. This place was originally built by J.C. Penney. The Spanish tiles in the courtyard had to be replaced. That studio in the back was the servants' quarters. I know, right? Yeah, those are the original wood floors. Watch your step. Down here's my dad's sweet starter sex dungeon. Would they giggle nervously? Be strangely impressed? Grow shadows in their eyes I'd never seen before? Or would they shrug it off casually and suggest we mix a cocktail from whatever's in the house, wrap their arm around me as we walk back up the stairs and start humming a few bars of I Loves You Porgy as if to say, stop trying to shock me, Mindy. I'm not leaving. We're in this fucked up crazy life together.
Word.
Warning. And while we at it, this one goes out to my father's mother and that fucking gorgeous piano over there. This is a true story. My grandmother's last words to me were, "My parents never told me they loved me." She placed that brief news like a 200-pound upright piano between us and just walked out of the room. I have some experience damaging upright pianos, exposing them to soaked ocean breezes and party guests with tipsy martinis. Any moisture is terrible for pianos. It is the single most destructive element. It causes the bridges and soundboards to swell and crack. The keys begin to stick and refuse the music. Whenever a tuner can be afforded, I watch like attending a surgery. Then the moment the work is done and I am alone, I am at it again, playing and sobbing, minoring all my chords, beginning again the slow warping of clarity and tone. What struck me most about my grandmother's pronouncement was its lack of footnotes or even sighs. Maybe she was taught about the rot self-pity can wreak on a woman. She was an accordion player with the posture of an accordion player. Her lot was both heavier and lighter than mine. I'll never get any further explanation than the one I got. And now that it has assumed its status of last, it's stuck as a refrain. My parents never told me they loved me. My parents never told me they loved me. My parents never told me they loved me. But did you know they loved you, Audrey? I lost you, and I will never get this upright to play a single sound. But it has a song in it. Every instrument does. I've been reworking the theme and the phrasing in my head. It keeps emerging as the Moonlight Sonata played as if the moon itself was playing it. It wants to capture this feeling of the very close distance, so the dampening pedal must be used like the foot of a sewing machine. It's getting close, the song, but I don't have much time. No piano can be preserved forever. Not in this climate, where a girl could live a lifetime never hearing her mother say, I love you. The veneer will peel and lift. The strings will rust. The action will cease being a frame.